Hey guys, in this video, we continue talking about using have to have to for obligations, but now I want to show you what happens when we use this with he and she. All right? If we remember from the last video, we had the basic difference with the verb to have, that he or she has something, possession, and she or she has to do something, right? Same basic difference. Here, he or she has a job, he or she has to get a job, right? So again, just be careful with the form. He or she has to do it, not doing it, all right? And here's interesting with the pronunciation. When we use he or she with the verb to have, as in a possession or a noun, the S sounds like a Z. So it's really he has time. If you imagine he has time, okay? When we talk about he or she has to do something, the has to will combine to has to. She has to do it. She has to do it. She has to do it, okay? That's the two sounds. One is for possession, he has, and the other is he or she has to, okay? Has to. He or she has to. So here we see again, he or she has to do it, and that combines the contractions has to. Right? He or she has to do it. Now, when we put this in the negative, you need to remember that he or she doesn't have. It's he or she has in the positive, but he or she doesn't have in the negative. So with this, we will contract to he or she doesn't have to do it, and can make the T silent, he or she doesn't have to. Okay? So in the affirmative positive, we he or she has to. Negative, he or she doesn't have to. Okay? Those are the two sounds now that we want to train in our practice session. Ready? She has to be there really early tomorrow. She has to be there really early tomorrow. She has to be there. She does not have to do it if she does not want to. She doesn't have to do it if she doesn't want to. She doesn't have to do it if she doesn't wanna. She doesn't have to do it if she doesn't wanna. She has to be there really early tomorrow to be ready for the interview. She has to be there really early tomorrow to be ready for the interview. She has to be there really early tomorrow to be ready for the interview. To be ready for the interview. He has to show you what to do when you get there. He has to show you what to do when you get there. He has to show you what to do when you get there. He has to show you what to do when you get there. He is happy because he does not have to work tomorrow. He's happy because he doesn't have to work tomorrow. He's happy because he doesn't have to work tomorrow. He's happy because he doesn't have to work tomorrow. He has to book the flight really soon to be able to come with us. He has to book the flight really soon to be able to come with us. He has to book the flight really soon to be able to come with us. Alright my friends, that ends this video, and I'll see you in the next video when I want to start talking about the past tense of have to had to had to. Alright my friends, I'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, in this video we continue looking about the verb to have to using for obligations, but now we want to see it in the past tense and what happens when we speak quickly with had to. Okay, so if you remember the basics, to have is for the present tense, had is for the past, and with all of the pronouns I, you, we, they, he, she, we use only one word, it's had, and in the negative, I, you, we, they, he, she, didn't have. And again, if we remember the same idea, is in had for a noun, right? I had time and then I had to do it, which is the same as I needed to do it. That's an obligation, right? With this one, had to in the verb in the past, quickly we will pronounce I had to, I had to, I had to do it, I had to do it, had to do it. So train with me now. Had to, had to. Got it? I had to tell him, I had to tell him, I had to tell him, I had to tell him. You didn't have to do it, you didn't have to do it. Do you see now? You didn't have to do it. Now, be careful here. Don't make a mistake when using the past tense. A lot of people forget this, that in the negative, it's you didn't have, not you didn't had. So just be careful with that one, okay? So let's practice some simple examples in the past tense to see how had to can become had to. All right, let's go. What did you have to do? 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 What did you? He had to start eating a healthier diet. He had to start eating a healthier diet. He had to. And he had to start eating a healthier diet. He had to start eating a healthier diet. She had to reformat her computer because it wasn't working properly. She had to reformat her computer because it wasn't working properly. She had to reformat her computer because it wasn't working properly. She had to reformat her computer because it wasn't working properly. You did not have to do that. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. Sorry we could not stay long, but we just had to go home early. Sorry we couldn't stay long, but we just had to go home early. Sorry we couldn't stay long, but we just had to go home early. Sorry we couldn't stay long, but we just had to go home early. Alright my friends, that ends this video. I'll see you in the final video of Module 5 when we're going to talk about combining have to with gonna and using it to express the future. Okay my friends, I will see you there. Hey my friends, in this final video of Module 5, I want to show you about how we can combine and then our verb, right? Now, what's important here is that must does not have an infinitive. This sentence here, I am going to must do it, is completely incorrect. It just does not exist. If you want to talk about things in the future that will be necessary for you, you say, I am going to have to do it, okay? I'm going to have to do it. And if we start to compare our sentence, here we have the verb to be, gonna, have to, and the verb. So previously we had going to, have to, and now it's gonna have to. Try it with me. Gonna have to. Got it? So let's train some simple examples of gonna have to, training that pronunciation, training the two words together, gonna have to. Alright? Let's go. What do you think we are going to have to do? What do you think we're going to have to do? What do you think we're gonna have to do? What do you think? What do you think we're gonna have to do? What do you think we're gonna have to do? I am going to have to learn how to drive soon. I'm going to have to learn how to drive soon. I'm gonna have to learn how to drive soon. I'm gonna have to learn how to drive soon. She is not going to have to pay more money. She's not going to have to pay more money. She's not gonna have to pay more money. I knew I was going to have to do it myself. I knew I was gonna have to do it myself. I knew I was gonna have to do it myself. They are going to have to study a lot this week for the exams. They're going to have to study a lot this week for the exams. They're gonna have to study a lot this week for the exams. They're gonna have to study a lot this week for the exams. Alright, my friends, that ends Module 5. In the next module, we will start talking about the word her, of how we use it with the correct preposition, and what happens when we speak quickly with the word her in English. See you there, my friends. Hey my friends, welcome to Module 6, how to use the word her like a native speaker. This module really has two objectives. One is the pronunciation of a native speaker, of what happens to the word her when we speak really quickly, that the her becomes okay? And the second objective is to learn about a lot of the essential verbs, and specifically, when do we use the word to with the verb or not. For example, I have a lot of students who have mistakes and they say things like, I want to help to my friend, to call to my friend, to tell to my friend, etc. But we have other sentences that are more complicated. To give him the book, to give the book to him. So the two objectives are, one, the pronunciation of her, and two, the essential verbs that everyone should know and should know how to use correctly. Alright? Let's get started. So the first thing, let's explain clearly when and why we use the word her, okay? On one side we have I, you, he, she, we, they, but the other side we have me, you, her, him, us, them, okay? What you must remember is when we use I, you, he, she, we, they, it will always be connected with the verb. Here, for example, I want, you want, she wants, he wants. There must always be a verb here, okay? For example, here, the person and the conjugated verb. I want, you want. But here, for example, if we look at 3 examples, she likes me. I will call you. I can ask her, okay? In this case, we are talking about or referring to the person. She likes me. I can call you. I can ask her. That here, when we use me, you, and her, is not a verb connected. We are talking about or referring to the person. So let's focus on the word her. First rule is referring to or talking about a woman, never a thing. Now, in some languages, we have masculine and feminine for things and nouns, and sometimes the word her in different translations can be different. But her in English is always a woman, never a thing, okay? It is also the possessive. Just to be completely clear, the word her also includes the possessive, as in it's my car, it's your car, it's her car, alright? Now, this is the part that's important, the native speaker pronunciation. When we're using the word her, we don't always pronounce the letter H sound. Let's see this. Here we have the word her with 3 essential verbs. To ask, to tell, and to call, okay? Now, the first thing is, it's completely incorrect to say to ask to her, or to tell to her, or to call to her, okay? That's the first point. The next point is, look carefully. Here's I can ask her will become I can ask her. I am going to tell her, I'm going to tell her. Can you call her? Can you call her? It's the disappearing H. The her to okay? When you have the verb like ask her, is to connect 2 words, ask her, to 1 word, ask her, tell her, call her, okay? So let's see some simple examples with the 3 essential verbs, ask, call, and tell. Now learn and train and practice, combining ask her to ask her, alright? Let's go. Do you think you can ask her tomorrow? 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 What time are you going to call her? What time are you gonna call her? What time are you gonna call her? What time are you? What time are you gonna call her? What time are you gonna call her? If you could tell her, that would be great. If you could tell her, that would be great. If you could tell her, that would be great. If you could tell her, that'd be great. If you could tell her, that'd be great. I am not sure if he is going to have to ask her. I'm not sure if he's gonna have to ask her. I'm not sure if he's gonna have to ask her. I'm not sure if he's gonna have to ask her. I'm not sure if he's gonna have to ask her. I need you to call her today if you do not mind. I need you to call her today if you don't mind. I need you to call her today if you don't mind. I need you to call her today if you don't mind. I need her to call today if you don't mind. They are not sure if they should tell her or not. They are not sure if they should tell her or not. They're not sure if they should tell her or not. Alright my friends, that ends the first video of Module 6. I'll see you in the next video when we're going to talk about using her with verbs to know, to meet, and to find. Okay, see you there my friends. Hey guys, in this video we're going to continue looking at the word her, but specifically with the verbs to meet, to know, and to find. Okay? 3 verbs. To meet, to know, to find. Alright? So let's look here at what happens to the word her when we say it quickly. So it's very similar. I am going to meet her. I'm going to meet her. Meet her. I don't know her. I don't know her. Know her. Okay? So know her. The pronunciation is one word, know her. I need to find her. I need to find her. I need to find her. Okay? So let's be clear about the differences between the 3 verbs. I want to explain the difference between to know her and to meet her, because they are very different and they are not the same in other languages. To know her is a female person familiar to you. I know her very well. For example, your sister or your mother or your cousin. To meet her is the idea to meet a woman for the first time. I don't know my girlfriend's mother. I am going to meet her for the first time tomorrow. To meet also has the idea of to come together at a specific place and a specific time. Amy is my really good friend. I meet her once or twice a week for coffee. Now, in the past, meet is met and know is knew. That's the past tense of the 2 verbs. In the past, they have different meanings, okay? Now, I met her is the idea of the first time, like 17th of March 2010. I met my friend Amy, first time ever. I met her on Wednesday for coffee. Now, this is just a specific time and place that we organize to meet. Now, for another idea is I know a girl from university. She's actually an actress now making movies. So I was in university 9 years ago. I have 0 contact with her. So I knew her in university, but I haven't seen her in years. So I met her for the first time in university. I knew her I had contact with her for a period. That contact ended and now it's not the same. This is the mistake because a lot of students confuse this. When you say I met her, it's like for the first time. If you say I knew her, it's like you knew her in a past time and you don't have contact with her now. A lot of students, they make the mistake. They say I knew her last night. When really what you mean is, I met her last night for the first time. So I knew her last night. No, it's I met her last night. So the idea like my grandmother died before I was born. I never knew her. I never met her, right? To find her is when you don't know where a woman or a girl is. If you can imagine a situation where you are lost in a city center or you are separated in a big crowd and you need to find this woman, all right? It's not the same as to meet, because I know the verb to find and to meet in some languages is exactly the same, but it's important to know the difference in English. So let's practice some simple examples using the pronunciation of the word her to with the verbs to find, to know, and to meet. Ready? I would really like to meet her. I'd 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 really like to meet her. I do not know her at all. I do not know her at all. I don't